How's it going, YouTube? Hi Drax, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with you guys about the new Legends update. Obviously the Legends update dropped 3 days ago if you're watching this now, and it's been a pretty good update so far, at least. The UI looks clean. They updated it very nicely compared to when they did it in 2019. Definitely looks a lot better and fitting UI for the for 2021 a mobile game, entering the 2021 era, I should say. Everything has been shifted around, which is a little bit annoying in my personal experience, because I'm very used to certain icons being in certain places, like where the guild function is. Story used to be, so I find myself normally just clicking menu and going straight up into the guild by accident. Similar with the events and co-op. Co-op used to be a banner, or it used to be a little bit different, as used to click events and then go to co-ops, but now they have an individual co-op button. I can't really remember if they had a co-op button before, because I didn't ever use it. Adventures have changed quite nicely. The auto adventure thing is a bit weird, because it doesn't give you the option to choose what kind of adventures you can set. It auto selects the types of adventures itself, such as I did this manually by picking the 7-hour adventures, but if I had to click auto adventure, it picked up automatically 2 7-hour adventures, and then the manual 3-hour adventures were thrown in there, which I didn't personally like. I would have liked the option to choose whether I wanted to use the 7 or the 3 or the 1 hours. It would have made things a lot easier in my personal experience. Other than that, it's a pretty decent sized update in that situation. This Tournament of Power update, where you can see the TP energy, it doesn't really affect me that much, because I have a well, I know when I'm using my TP, because every day, just as I go to sleep, I just go in, do my Tournament of Power, and I log off. That's not really a big issue for me. As for missions, I did find this very annoying. I'm kind of a OCD type of person, where I don't like seeing missions being stacked up in my box like this. I'd like to have everything clean and everything collected, with the exception of special missions, because I do want to keep those in case I need CC emergency, in case of emergency. But types of these ones, like these types of missions and stuff, I have no problem with, because they're not finished yet. But missions like powering up boost panels for characters, it's very tempting to just go ahead and collect all of these, because I do want to have this whole section cleaned out and having it being nice and neat. But that's just my personal thing. Many people may differ from this. It's practically a personal opinion. One of the gripes I have with it now is that even though the UI is very clean, they did remove a function that I very regularly used, and that was the gift box. The gift box, as you can see here, I have the co-op medals here sitting in my box. What I usually do is I run co-op, I buy out whatever I need to buy out, and then I just stack up until I need to buy the next batch of them when it resets. So that's just my personal opinion. I don't like having to come to the main screen and clicking on it and going to the gift box. I much rather prefer having it back on the main menu here, where I can just easily access it, because I've played the game for long enough where I kind of default to know where everything is. So I click menu, and then the top in between news and items would have been the exchange shop, gift box would have been just below friends, all that. Like, I have that muscle memory ingrained in me now, so it's going to take a little bit of time to getting used to this new UI and stuff. But it's a pretty easy experience nonetheless. The UI is a lot faster than before. Loading up into different types of modes is a lot quicker, especially the guild function. The guild function loads up extremely quickly compared to before. Before it used to take like upwards of maybe 20-30 seconds. Now it takes about half that time, which is pretty nice. So that's pretty good. I do like the fact that they updated the exchange shops, where they have all the exchanges in one place. This is very useful if I just want to check up different types of things, especially the guild coins. Guild coins being exclusive to the guild, I should say. I didn't enjoy going into the guild and then having to click exchange just to go see my guild medals or guild coins, so that's a pretty nice update. Everything else is pretty decent so far, but the major gripe I have now with the game is the reroll function. The reroll function for equipment has changed severely. If you look, I'm not going to actually do it because I don't actually have any resources to reroll, but as you can see, you have the option to do multiple rerolls at the same time, which at first seems like a very efficient way of doing it, but once you get down into it, it's a lot more expensive now. They are charging a ton more than they used to. They increased the amounts of Zenny that you have to use to reroll. Before, it used to be 1 million, is to increase to 2 million, 4 million, and it should keep going up and up until a cap of about 12 or 20 million, depending on the type of equipment. But that was a while ago, I suppose. Well, that's in the past, I should say. But now, if you have to re-roll, the re-roll function is damaged or not complete in my mind, because if you choose to re-roll a slot, it will re-roll the slot, and it will only keep the slot if it's higher than the previous stat. Say, for example, my blast attack here is 14.1%. If I had to re-roll that, and let's say it goes up to 15.3%, it'll save that percentage, right? But that doesn't stick. If you had to re-roll again, and let's say I re-roll that 15.3% and it goes down to 5%, it sticks on that 5%. You don't get to keep the 15%. And when you re-roll and it gets that higher point, that it gets a higher value than the base value that you already re-rolled, it'll stop automatically and stop re-rolling, which is kind of stupid in my opinion, because why would you have a re-roll function where you choose the number of times it wants to re-roll, but it stops when it just gets above the higher value or above the value that you already have? I find that very stupid and very pointless. It has increased the time it takes to re-roll equipments, and I would have rather preferred keeping it the old way because it was a lot quicker, even though the re-rolling method was very tedious, clicking multiple different buttons. I would have much rather preferred having a much cleaner experience than the method we have now. The fact that equipments have not changed in a greater sense is kind of disappointing as well. I expected them in this update to maybe increase the rates a little bit, maybe have a function where each time you increase every 5th reroll of an equipment, it guarantees an increase in the stat, which is what I was hoping for. But I guess that's I guess equipment in this game is a gacha within a gacha, which honestly is not really important unless you're really trying to flex. And I've been playing long enough that I have the luxury of grinding up equipments to Z ranks and Z pluses, so I'm not trying to flex anything, but it's just, what else do you do with equips besides re-rolling them to higher ranks? Obviously you want to get the best stats, but the equipments at S and the difference between S equips and Z equips is not that big of a difference anyways, so you're okay running S equips. The update overall has been good, I suppose. We did get a new mode called the Battle Gauntlet. As you can see, we are in the Battle Gauntlet here right now. I'll just do one run through. But this mode is pretty fun. Obviously, you don't have to manually do it, but manually doing it is obviously going to add to the content in terms of what you can do and how many times you can do it. You do have a skip feature where you just click the next battle, up until battle 70, and then at that point you have to manually do it, because I'm assuming it gets to a point where you have to manually play this mode because it becomes very difficult. I haven't reached the highest point yet, but I am just starting out this mode, and it's pretty fun. They did say that Ultra Space Time Rush, the Zenkai version I should say, originally had chrono crystals as rewards for clearing each level, and you got a total of 500 chrono crystals. It seems like this mode, the Battle Gauntlet, is picking up in that respect by giving up free CC by completing each level up to 700 CC, which is, in my opinion, the reason why they removed or removed the 500cc from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush, and they relocated it here to Battle Gauntlet, which is pretty nice. Speaking of the Zenkai Battle Rush, obviously things have changed up quite a bit in here. All these Zenkais are here are free, which is very nice to see, considering that LF Zenkais are extremely premium, and most of them are extremely good. Apart from that, you do have the options here to get up and pick up slot removers. You can get tickets, which is nice. But overall, this update's been pretty good. There are one or two things that I heavily dislike with this update, mainly being the equipment feature is now more tedious to do and re-roll and go ahead and try and upgrade your equips. And the gift box is now harder to access, in my opinion, for me personally, which I dislike. It also means that I'm more often or not checking my gift box, which is kind of unfortunate. But hopefully things do end up improving. I do think this is a step in the right direction. The game has taken a great step in a good direction. They have made adjustments to co-op. If you don't know about co-op, in co-op, if your partner DCs in co-op, if your partner's character becomes a bot, and you can go ahead and use the bot as your partner. So no more DCing and automatically losing the match. Apart from that, in co-op, the extreme mode is a lot easier to complete now. Before, it used to take 2 double rising rushes to kill the boss. Now, if you play your cards right and have a decent team, and if you manage to pull off the perfect rising or perfect ultra rising rush, or whatever they called it in the video and stuff, you can kill him in the first shield break, which is very nice. It reduces time and makes this mode a little bit better. We are still waiting for a rematch function here, which is probably going to be implemented in future, but for now, this is a very good step in the right direction, and hopefully things are going to improve further with this game, because this game, it is pretty fun, and it has been a very good gacha in terms of free-to-play accessibility. The whales obviously have the option to buy chrono crystals, and even they say that it's a lot cheaper than most gacha games. It's definitely a lot cheaper than Dokkan. It's a lot cheaper than Grand Cross. It's a lot cheaper than a lot of these other games that are available right now. But also making a return before we wrap up is the Hoi Poi event. I'm a little bit disappointed in the method that they use to implement the Hoi Poi event with the steps. I don't particularly like the steps. I do like the fact that they're giving 200 multi-Z power instead of 100 like they usually do when they release the Hoi Poi event. This just means that you have to farm up a lot more in terms of the Hoi Poi section. So hopefully things are going to be a lot easier from now on in terms of grinding up Hoi Poi events and coins, because originally when they first dropped, everybody knew at how extremely difficult it was to get Hoi Poi coins, and a lot of people missed out on the free 600 multi-Z power for Legends Limited units when it dropped. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think of the updates from your personal experience. How do you feel Legends is doing so far? Do you think they're moving in the right direction with the updates they've made, the changes to PvP, co-op, the different types of QOL updates, the new mode? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm very interested to hear your opinions and your feedback on this matter, because I, for one, am enjoying the update very much, and I would love to hear the community's perspective of how Legends is changing. But anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Hydrax, and I'll catch you all later.